Sorry about that. Is there any echo, by the way, in the first place? I don't think there is.
I don't think so.
Second stream in a row where the audio issues are seem to have gone away, which is a good thing. But I hope everyone is doing well. Obviously, एक हफ्ता जैसे stream का thumbnail बता रहा है, there is 1 week left for the Serie A. Obviously 22nd of August, so just over a week. But next week तक obviously बहुत कुछ हो जाएगा league में. We'll be talking about all of that. We'll continue to kind of build up and look at what has changed or what has rather evolved with multiple clubs. How are the clubs looking? More market business. क्या हुआ है, क्या नहीं हुआ है. But before that, how is everything going? How are you doing, Ajay bhai?
भाई वेरी वियर्ड डे टुडे यार. मैं सुबह जब निकला ऑफिस के लिए तो ऐसा बारिश हुआ कि आई गॉट कंप्लीटली वेट एंड देन इट डिडंट रेन द एंटायर आफ्टरनून टिल आफ्टरनून. आफ्टरनून को वापस जब मैं बाहर गया इट स्टार्टेड रेनिंग अगेन विद हेवी विंड एंड देन अगेन इट स्टॉप्ड रेनिंग एंड टिल इवनिंग इट वाज लाइक बीच में आई थिंक आई सॉ द सन आल्सो एंड देन अगेन इट रेन. आई गॉट वेट सो आई लाइक आज मतलब प्रॉपर मुंबई मॉनसून वेदर अल्ट्रा प्रो मैक्स को एक्सपीरियंस किया मैंने.
नाइस, इंटरेस्टिंग. मुझे तो बारिश पर्सनली पसंद है, सो आई डोंट रियली माइंड इट. चिंतन भाई इज आल्सो. हाउ आर यू डूइंग, चिंतन भाई? कैसा चल रहा है सब?
बस चल रहा है भाई, गोइंग ऑन एंड ऑन. जस्ट केम बैक फ्रॉम.
चिंतन ये सेल्स वाला नहीं है ना, इससे इसको बारिश पसंद है. तू और मैं फील्ड में घूमते रहते तो वी नो.
मैं भी फील्ड पे घूमते ही रहता हूँ, मुझे तो पसंद है यार, मुझे तो मजा आता है.
Not at all, bro. Not at all. Especially when you're going for a meeting that time. No, man. Not. The last thing I want is rains that time. I like rains when I'm sitting in my room.
That also, obviously, that is the perfect way of experiencing rains. We'll obviously come to everyone's comments and everything. Today's agenda, as I explained, is quite simple. We just continue to build up before we do our mega preview next week. वो सब तो चलते रहेगा. But Ajay bhai, let's start. Like, I think might as well just get it right underway. I think we can start. I don't know, wherever we want to. I think because I'll start with the latest rumor because I've seen it while scrolling Twitter and it's there. uh they're online as well. Abhijay is here as well. He has troll names for almost every club, I think, now. But I saw obviously the Napoli, now that Lukaku has left. I wanted to start with that obviously he's gone to Fenerbahce, which is very interesting because Salah has signed for Trabzonspor, and Fener and Trabzon have a very heated rivalry. So Salah versus Lukaku will be quite fun to see. But
लुकाकू अगले साल गलत से जाने वाला है. उसके फिर बाद में अगले साल बेसिकटास जाने वाला है.
हाँ, और फिर वापस सर्कल होके ट्रैबजॉन्सपोर भी आ जाएगा तो. But we'll come to your comments. I'm seeing a lot of it. First, I wanted to talk about is Gabriel Jesus, because we are seeing the news, which is not, I would say it's not smokescreen on anything. It is concrete news that Napoli are interested in Gabriel Jesus. Only thing is that they need to make a few more departures before being able to sign him, and they have an agreement, or they're rather close to an agreement with Arsenal, that they have to find an agreement with Gabriel Jesus as well. What would you make of this? Him as the start, banking on him as the starting choice striker, and एक तो वो उसके फिटनेस का इश्यूज तो है ही, बट देन Allegri, under Allegri of all people. What do you make of it, Ajay bhai?
So लेफ्ट विंग बैक खिलाने वाले उसको, लेफ्ट विंग बैक. स्पिनाज़ोला को नहीं खिलाएगा, Gabriel Jesus वगैरह. But in all seriousness, Param, I think Gabriel Jesus, if he remains fit, of course he can be a clutch player. But have we really seen the best of him in the last few years? I don't think so. I still think that जो उसका एक potential है, शायद अभी भी है उसके पास में. It's not like he's gone past his prime. Is Napoli and Allegri the right manager to unlock it? I don't think so. In a league which will probably kill him at the first minute you get him, you put him against physical sides in Serie A, low blocks, you know what it's going to be. Allegri himself demands so much from his attackers. तो बहुत ही मतलब it's going to be a very weird recipe. Like I don't see it. I mean, I don't think so. He's the right fit for Allegri's system. I still feel that probably if he signs for, say Milan or Inter or Roma, I think wahan pe he would be a much more natural fit because, the managers and even Juve for that matter, I think he'll do well even at Juve under Spalletti. So, he's that kind of player, man. Like वो एकदम typical, वो ऐसा player है जो जिसको you never know what to expect, from him. and tons of potential, but he's yet to achieve that. And of course, Chintan knows. No, he's obviously Chintan does have a soft spot for Arsenal, and he's been following Gabriel Jesus way more closer than I have. And क्या लगता है तेरे को? Do you think that this is a recipe made for disaster, or do you think it's going to go well?
I actually I know Vijay either troll kar raha hai, but I think he's a good player. He's a decent player. His only problem is he holds the ball a little too much in a fast-paced EPL. Shayad probably I think I think Serie A is perfect fit for him. I feel he's going to do decent in Serie A, but not Allegri. Allegri has of course invented a new striking position last year with Santi Jimenez called defensive striker. तो मतलब वो तो एक अलग ही पोजीशन है एंड ही होल्ड्स द बॉल लिटिल टू मच देन फॉर Allegri's liking. मतलब एक चीज अच्छा हो सकता है, Allegri plays with a lone striker up front, so he might just hold on to the ball to wait for others to come. But as you said, I think he would have been decent at Juve also. I think he would have been a good fit at Juve or at Milan. And for 20 million, like I know his wages might be an issue, but I think he wants play time, so I don't think it'd be a problem. He is the best player to have when you are a 1-0 or 2-0 up and you want to protect the lead. He draws in a lot of fouls. मुझे तो अच्छा लगता है player. I know it didn't work out at Arsenal eventually, but not Allegri. Allegri very disappointing last season at Milan. The way he capitulated. तो उसके लिए probably I don't know, but anything is better than Lukaku. I am pretty sure about that. So
I think Allegri has actually made a mistake here. I think because Allegri wanted Lukaku in the past in multiple occasions. I think he could have given him. Obviously, the different issue here is that Lukaku fell out with the club more than anything because he did not want to be benched by Højlund. That's another different story. But I don't know. I feel Allegri could have worked something out because he's always been a big fan of Lukaku, and my issue is that he didn't even try. Like again, Lukaku is a drama queen and all that. I get it. But then I feel as a coach who's always wanted Lukaku, and I feel the way he plays again, like he needs a striker that can hold the ball well. Lukaku could have done that. So just feel that there he could have tried more, even if Lukaku is a drama queen, to be honest.
But क्यों परम ऐसे लोग बहुत negativity attract करते हैं? If he doesn't want to stay, why do you want to spoil the atmosphere of a club? वो उधर आके इंटर में था, तभी चेल्सी का बात कर रहा था. I rather have one less player. I don't care. You might make a formidable team, but if you have a crybaby like this in your team, why spoil the atmosphere of the dressing room?
Yeah, of course. That's also there. That's true. Because
before I know ki comments of Milan, Gonzalo Ramos, Leao, Amorim, all the questions will be answered. Ibrahim Haq, because we have our in-house Binani Chintan. But before I take Chintan ka thoughts, Param, Inter have been making moves in the market. सबसे पहले incoming John Stones को of course आप लोग ने sign कर लिया. एक और Englishman आ रहा है, Jet Spence. It's done, and you're getting rid of Davide Fratesi finally.
I think that's the best move of the market, and I think you will be happier that he's gone to Lazio and not come to Roma more than anything.
100%. 100%. But let's start with incomings. John Stones, Jet Spence. Jet Spence, of course, people forget he's played at Genoa a year on loan. That's where he actually developed quite a lot. So, बता यार, तेरे विचार क्या है इंटर के mercato के बारे में?
See, on John Stones, I had commented once as well, and I'm happy with the signing in the sense that when he's fit, he's still a very good player. Like that's not in question. But the problem is, how fit can he remain? I think हम लोग इंटर कम्युनिटी में वही डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि even if we can squeeze or get 20 games out of him for the season, I think that's more than enough. My main issue with the 6 defenders we have right now is that we were obviously trying to sell Benjamin Pavard, but he kept rejecting every move because he wants to stay. And because of that, we missed out on Cuti Romero, which would have been a statement signing, obviously, because for Kibu's high line, I think, and to replace a character like Acerbi, Christian Romero would have been perfect. I think that's what I feel. There is one convincing that kind of like aggressive defender missing in the backline, although it's a good backline. But moving aside from that, only sticking to John Stones, I think again, not doubting the quality or the leadership by any means. He obviously played in that midfield role, in that box midfield role under Pep. He's improved tons, and in that Champions League final also, obviously you could see. So it's always good to have a player like that, and also for the wages we got him. Obviously, it's not cheap, but then to get that kind of a player for in the Serie A for those wages is quite reasonable, I feel. Jet Spence, on the other hand, I've always had doubt overall, but then uska simple cheese to put it is the defensive side of the game has improved leaps and bounds. Like the work ethic, the judgment when it comes to tackling and everything, that is never in question, I feel. The offensive output needs a lot of improvement, like a lot, because his end product is not as good. Whether it comes to finishing, passing, or crossing, anything, he'll carry the ball well, but there is a lot of polishing to be done and technical ability. The point is, Kivu wants as many athletic players and players that can allow a vertical game. वो उसने बोला था उसके last year के press conference में that he wants to play a very modern brand of game, and he feels that the only way for an Italian club to compete in the Champions League is to adapt to how maybe the Premier League teams play. He's been very clear with this. That doesn't mean you compromise on technical ability, but then he's always had this idea, so you have to back him, because last window you did not back him. So in that sense, I don't mind Spence, because again, this didn't come out of the blue. We always wanted Spence as one of our choices early in the window, and तभी जब हम गए थे, it was right after the World Cup, and that's when Tottenham were asking for 45 million. So the what I read was that Inter waited for this whole hype around him to cool down, because उसके बाद I think उसका एक कुछ तो nickname भी बन गया था, कुछ chill boy करके, and also there was a lot of hype around Jet Spence which they waited for it to die down. Obviously they were even targeting Moussa Diaby, of the former Leverkusen player, who might return to Leverkusen, which I did not think make a lot of sense for Moussa Diaby to play as a wing back. I was not a fan of it. So, and also have to remember, Andy Diouf is your new right wing back. Like, that's another whole gamble. He cannot defend as well, so you need a wing back on the other hand who can defend well, which is Jet Spence. So if I had to rate, on a scale of, I would say, happiness, if I had to rate more than Jet Spence's quality, I would say I'm content with the Jet Spence signing. I would say it's like a 7 on 10. I don't agree with Shivam bol raha hu, Bodhayan over here, who says that it's a massive downgrade on Dumfries. Let me remind him that when Dumfries came in, he was absolutely average when he was signed. He was signed.
लोग तो उसको Dumfries करके बुलाते थे.
Yeah, he was a very average player, very brain dead also, I would say, very low IQ player, which Simone Inzaghi improved him. So I don't buy into this narrative that Dumfries se ekdam bada loss. So it's a loss because he grew into Inter, but when he came at Inter, he was absolutely an average player. He just had a good World Cup because he scored a few good goals. So I don't agree with this assessment. And Curtis Jones is a potential third Englishman who could be on his way now that Fratesi is gone. Obviously, Fratesi was loaned to Lazio for 1 million and an option to buy for 14, which becomes an obligation if Lazio finish 10th or higher, or if Fratesi plays 22 games in the Serie A, which is amazing. Like, I would love for this. I'm hoping Lazio at least finish 10th.
Let me interject. मैं एक early prediction दे रहा हूँ, Shivam. Lazio and Lecce go into the final day. Okay, 17th and 18th. Lecce will finish above Lazio and Lazio go down to Serie B. Oh my God. क्या सपने देख रहा हूँ.
Fratesi जब तक उसका obligation complete करते 22 appearance का मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But point is, Fratesi is gone. He's gone to his boyhood club. Many people have this misconception that he's a Romanista, but he's always been a Laziale. उसका फोटो भी है.
एक मिनट, ये again I'm interjecting. ये साले लोग है ना ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. After they go, they say, "Oh, I've been a Laziale." The worst one was Luca Pellegrini. And even by Alessio Romagnoli, when Roma beat Lazio 2-0 वो रूडी गार्सिया वाला डार्बी पे, जिस तरीके से वो सेलिब्रेट कर रहा था, अगर वो सच्चा लाज़ियो था नहीं करता था, बट ठीक है, लाइक अभी क्या करें, उनको भी अपना दो वक्त का रोटी कमाना पड़ता, तो बोलना पड़ता है ये सब.
Yeah, and just so obviously यार ये गंदा जोक ना इसको टाइम आउट में डाल दो यार. ये गंदे, इसने पहले भी ये जोक मारा है. If you know what एक तो डेजर्ट का नाम भी तूने बराबर से लिया नहीं है, ठीक है, वो गलत है. Strelicious is not this is not how you spell it, okay? तेरे को मैं टाइम आउट में डाल दूंगा अगर एक और बार ऐसा गंदा जोक मारा तो. But point is,
by the way, on a serious note, Lecce and Bari are known for its seafood, which is ironic coming from someone who doesn't eat seafood, but it is very well known for its coastal cuisine in
अभी आपको पता अभी because of Abhijay I'll go on a tangent. I don't know, मेरे Instagram feed पे ना Lecce City के बारे में कुछ आया, maybe because I was going through their kids, तो City के बारे में भी एक रील आया. उसमें वो रील में for whatever reason they were talking about an Indian restaurant in Lecce. What the hell is going? Like I'm pretty sure Conte उधर जाके अपना
ये धुरंधरगिरी कर रहे हैं just to get under Di Francesco's skin.
नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता, but whatever. Curtis Jones, very simply, before we move to AC Milan, I would say massive upgrade on Fratesi. I know he has a bit of a hot head. He is a bit hot-headed. We've seen those clips, how he's been falling out with his Liverpool team. Not falling out, but having those petty arguments here and there. And look, he's done. It looks like he's done with Liverpool because every inter post he's there liking it. Jet Spence ka here we go हो गया जो भी post था he's liking it. Every transfer move he's clearly today also there is an update as per news that he's putting every other club on hold as long as Inter is there. Next week Monday onwards is when Inter is expected to relaunch for him because he's been waiting, and Kivu also badly wants him because you know that Curtis Jones सिर्फ midfield में आपको help नहीं करेगा. He can, if you know what he did at Liverpool playing as a fullback, he can also in emergency situations be deputized as a wingback if needed on the left or right. And again, the level over Fratesi, the gap, the improvement is massive. Whatever you think of Curtis Jones, he carries the ball much better. He has the technical ability for again, let me remind you, the way Kimu wants to play. A very high press, a very vertical game. For that, you need to be able to resist press and hold the ball. And Curtis Jones is miles better than Davide Fratesi. So essentially, your midfield would be Zielinski, Mkhitaryan, Hakan, Alexander Stankovic, Barella, Curtis Jones, and Petar Sucic, which is 7 good very midfielders.
दे दो इनको Serie A को दे दो
if Curtis Jones comes in, obviously. So my point is, you have to get this deal. I think the last thing I want to say is, looks like Liverpool are ready for a compromise because they were very adamant on 40 million, but James Pierce ने भी बोला और Italy से भी बोल रहे कि 35 million में शायद हो जाए. So you have to get it done. There's no question about it. Fratesi गया, अब गया, उस पे upgrade लाना है, and you have to back Kivu. Last window नहीं किया. And let me remind you what Chintan bhai said about AC Milan. जैसे उनका विंडो ब्लॉक था, ये वीक तक, August 10 तक Inter's market was stuck. It felt like ये लोग कुछ करेंगे नहीं. And now here it is. Everything is moving quickly, and you have to back him before the first game. So absolutely, for me, by Monday to Wednesday or Thursday, Curtis Jones should be done. No excuses over there for us as a club.
Fair. And speaking about Milan, Chintan, comment आया था कि talk about Gonzalo Ramos, Leao, Ruben Amorim, too much negativity around Amorim. Your thoughts and your general.
I just want to add one question for Chintan bhai. General thoughts, so yes, because I know Chintan bhai has already given that on Gonzalo Ramos, Amorim, and I know people are asking questions. We'll come to that. But Chintan bhai, आज तो obviously वो भी आपको बात करनी पड़ेगी कि मिलान में बड़ी मीटिंग हो गई एकदम कार्डिनाले. मतलब मुझे तो समझ में नहीं कि अगर हेलीकॉप्टर में आना था तो 13 अगस्त तक क्यों रुका, वो मुझे वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा. पहले ही आ जाता ये सब करने. मतलब ये सब
पवन पे रिपेयर कर रहा था अब जाके.
पर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि if you had to make all this grand entry and all, it's not about the entry. My point is, if you're anyways going to be aggressively involved in the market, why wait so long? B, point is to what Ajay bhai said. I don't think Ruben Amorim is being criticized, but I feel criticism towards the fee that is spent on Gonzalo Ramos, all that is fair. What are your thoughts? Like Fofana being axed, Nkunku being axed, ये सब जा रहे हैं. मैं लिस्ट पुल अप कर लेता हूँ. क्या लगता है आपको?
पहली बात तो यार we found a new Milan fan because he's going to be supporting Milan. ABC 11127. Very easy answer. यार, you're an LFC fan. Milan has played 2 big matches, 2 big finals against Liverpool.
I have a very good answer for him. Napoli, only because of Allegri. You will enjoy those 115 kickoff matches when Allegri plays away to Lecce. That's all I will say.
उसको right guide करना है. तुम लोग ने you owe it to us as Milan fans because 2005 में लिवरपूल ने जितना दुख दर्द और पीड़ा दिया है मिलान को, उसके लिए all Liverpool fans should have a soft spot for Milan.
बट अगर उसको और दुख दर्द पीड़ा नहीं चाहिए तो उसको ऑब्वियसली मिलान इस मिलान को नहीं पिक करना चाहिए, is what I would say. But all those jokes aside, Chintan bhai, the floor is yours. Guys, we'll come to the comments. I'm liking the discourse. Just hold on. We'll get Chintan bhai's comments and get to you guys.
पहली बात तो ये full Berlusconi-esque entry मारा उसने, like helicopter and whatnot. Yeah, see, listen, fees, यार, it's an inflated market generally, and I think Milan had to move in for a striker immediately. यार हर सीजन ये स्ट्राइकर का होता है. हर सीजन मिलान ends up spending a bomb. I feel bad for Santi Jimenez because he didn't get his time. Played under almost 3 managers in a span of a year, that only. And I don't know. I think it's a little hard. Season चालू नहीं हुआ है. Like, I don't understand this. How are people judging itna soon in प्री-सीजन मिलान every year Bayern को Real Madrid को ऐसे को हरा देती है प्री-सीजन में. That doesn't mean our season is going to go great. But yeah, my point again, I'll go to Gonzalo Ramos. यार I'll tell you guys, वो अगर 15 गोल मार दिया ना, सब प्राइस टैग भूल जाएंगे उसका. Okay. और या यूरोपा लीग में कुछ अगेंस्ट अ बिग टीम कोई गोल मार दिया, सब प्राइस टैग. Forget 18 goals, 15 goals. उसने इंटर, रोमा, यूवे, नापोली के सामने गोल मार दिया ना, सब लोग भूल जाएंगे उसका. So my idea is that yes, I still feel, I feel it is too much. We could have bought 2 players, but I think Milan wanted to move it. I think movement wise, he's a little more agile compared to what Santi was. I think that is what Milan wanted. Dobvik, of course, Milan were chasing, but Dobvik was Allegri's choice because he wanted a static number 9 in the box. This guy is more agile. So I guess it's the case. But then again, as you said, I'm very surprised at a few names, especially Tomori and Nkunku, because Nkunku के पास last season जो हम लोगों ने spend किया था last minute पे to say that he's the kind of a player we need and we're looking for. I'm very surprised. Fofana तो यार last season जाना चाहिए था Fofana, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing that Yunus Musa is gonna be staying because he's in Amorim's project. I don't believe in any of these things. First of all, this Milan team is not meant for a back three again, like 3-4-2-1 जो खेलना चाहता है. I don't think Milan is meant for that. He's meant for 4-3-3, but everyone knows Amorim is a little stubborn when it comes to that. Guys, that Chelsea game was a torture to watch. Sachi batao, it was a torture to watch. But again, इसमें से one name being missing, Rafa Leao.
I know, that's what I wanted to ask you. ये इतना मीटिंग करके आपको दिख के, obviously I know उसका मार्केट मिलना भी मुश्किल एक चीज है because वो 50.
एक सिंपल लॉजिक है. मिलान को लग रहा था कि अपना कैश का हुआ है. ये एक प्लेयर है जो ट्रम्प कार्ड है, जो लास्ट सीजन में टिजानी को बेचा, उसके पहले सैंड्रो को बेचा. अरे ये डालेंगे पत्ता हम लोग, 80, 60, 70 मिलियन आ जाएगा. वो नहीं हुआ. तो जो गोंजालो रामोस का पैसा रिकवर करना था वो somehow नहीं हो पाया with Rafa Leao's sale. Now he's stuck with him and he has to prove him what a terrible like as in off the ball, his movement is so terrible. I think my son can play better than him off the ball. When you close down Param, there are certain channels you have to close down. When you are closing down a wing back, you have to close down his channel to pass it to a winger. वो कैसे close down करता है वो पता नहीं चलता है. That's why Amorim was a little frustrated after that game. I don't think our squad is, I know people are talking about, I don't think our squad is that great. We are looking at Samuel Ricci को बेचना. My point is, even if we win the league, Param, चलो league भी जीत गए. What is your project? You are spending 30 million on players for one manager, and then you are selling him the next season. My सबसे बड़ा problem with Rohit Rajiv addressed it. We had a discussion is, we've got a tactician from, we went from a manager like Allegri, who is of course a very pessimistic manager, pragmatic football. We went to a Conceição, who's also a defensive astute manager, and we've come down to this man. So we've gotten 3 to 4 managers in the span of 2 seasons with different style of football. If everyone is not working, use your brain. The problem is not the managers. The problem is the set of players you have there. So I have absolutely no idea where is this going. Nkunku leke aaye the. I don't think Allegri wanted him, but 37 million dal diya, matlab donation. Like
crazy. And funnily enough, now Roma are linked to it. Roma are linked.
And my question is, like, what do you talk about Inter? Inter have a project in it, and I think Spence is going to be one of the signings of the season. Exactly.
This is just like us, because even we don't know what.
We don't know, but Uncle Sharma, send Jules, but don't send Luis Enrique at that cost.
That's the jewel we need to send to Roma, because Luis Enrique has opened up to a transfer. That's the only thing pending now.
I don't mind him for that kick on Pedro, that rat's face.
But I tell you, he's one of the most brain-dead players I've seen in recent Inter history. There is no medicine or Gatorade that can fix. But I guess this is a donation, because even I don't know what Jules means over here. LH is the Kohinoor. That's a perfect analogy. But I think Uncle Sharma made a video on Jet Spence. Chintan, but you can take it ahead. I just wanted to point it out. He also,
I think when you see him in the World Cup, He had a stinker of a game 8 mein. Second half mein, he turned out. He is what I like about Jet Spence is that mentality. He had a shit game in the first half. Second half mein, he turned up and he improved. And if Inter are going to play back three, and this guy is going to be fantastic in a back three, because of course he's decent defensively. And Ajay Param, हम लोग एक बहुत ही बड़ी चीज undermine करते हैं players coming from EPL. Their fitness levels are fantastic. Okay, and that is amazing. And he is the guy who is ready to bomb up and down, tracks back also. So, and by the way, you were 100% right. Dumfries, when he came in, he was brain dead too. वो डम्फ्रीज का वो बारसा के साथ गेम अच्छा हो गया तो पब्लिकली बहुत होहा मच गया कि ओ माय गॉड डम्फ्रीज इज अ ग्रेट आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग इट ही इज अ ग्रेट विंग बैक ही हैड अ गुड फाइट विद मिलान आल्सो लाइक वो अग्रेसिव हो गया लास्ट 2 सीजन से मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है उसके पहले ही वाज ब्रेन डेड एंड John Stones is such a Kiwu signing that if you are leading, you can just push him up in the midfield. He'll close it down. He's a ball-playing defender. Now you have Bastoni and John Stones who are 2 ball-playing defenders. You have Akanji. This Divrai and Acerbi ka upgrade hai. Look at Milan. You are sideways. You are going sideways. You got Santi Jimenez, one shot में 30 million में. उसके बाद अभी उसको बेच रहे 1 साल के अंदर and you bought Gonzalo. I agree, Gonzalo Ramos, Bundia just saying, yeah, we picked him up before anyone else, but 80 million means our transfer is blocked. This was assuming someone would take Rafa Leao. No one took him, and now we are stuck with Rafa Leao. And I don't know. I know Tomori gets a lot of slack. I would still keep Tomori because he's the only defender we have who's going to chase.
What I want to add to that is I'm not the biggest Tomori fan and we've discussed this, but the point is मेरा perspective इधर ये है. My perspective is this: we are on 13th of August, essentially 14th पकड़ लो from tomorrow. The day is almost over. How do you plan on replacing Tomori out of nowhere? Because all this while the assumption was that you would be a part of your coming season. Now there's an extra asset to replace. A center back, Rafael Leao mostly might stay okay, whatever. But now you have to go out and find a center back in replacement for Tomori. Whereas actually, what you had to really do is upgrade the backline at Milan. I felt that you had, apart from Pavlovic, Tomori, bus ho gaya Gabi yaar. Matlab, how long will you keep Gabia going? Like, I'm sorry, but how long can Gabia?
When you're playing against a big team, high line, when you're playing fast players के सामने, he's physically strong. So Tomori is a player which you technically need as of now. मतलब उसको निकालता तो नहीं मैं immediately. And he's saying that Conny de Winter is a player he's looking at. But he might play good football, okay. But भाई director कौन है? मतलब sporting director कौन है? Technical कोई बना नहीं. There's nothing going on. Helicopter में आने से कुछ होगा नहीं. You have to behave like a Berlusconi. Give him money.
Has Zlatan come back, or is he still on holiday?
I hope he doesn't come back, but it's unbelievable. I know he doesn't turn up for after his brother's death. He does not actually. That's a small misconception. People were giving him slack that he did not turn up for Baresi's funeral. He does not go for any funeral after his brother's death. But not a single post when a club legend and probably a world legend passed away. I think appalling.
Over even Zlatan एक चीज है, but then the whole saga has been recent comparison that everybody has compared Maignan and Rabiot to Lautaro, because Lautaro, despite reaching the final, came back 1 week earlier, Ajay bhai, and Maignan and Rabiot extended their holiday by 4 days and whatever, by 10 days or whatever, something that is. And Zlatan has a reason to not attend funerals. Maignan and Rabiot did not even go for Baresi.
Yeah, and they were 1 hour. But see, I don't like such. Guys, I don't know. Probably Amorim might just be a little stricter because Cardinale was directly involved. My only thing is Gonzalo Ramos came in with 80 million starting May, thinking Milan will sell Rafa for at least 60 million. Wo flop ho gaya. That is why Milan's transfer market is stuck. I still feel Milan can finish top 4. Last season bhi karna tha top 4, but of course a massive dip. Of course Roma took advantage of it. And this is a good segue because I'm Gonzalo, I like his movements. 80 million is too much, but he might just, मैं बोल रहा हूँ 15 गोल मारेगा ना, सब चुप हो जाएंगे, वो justify हो जाएगा. But my point is, अभी 15 गोल मारने के लिए you are removing, and Pulisic कितना pressure लेगा वो. Nkunku had a decent, थोड़ा pre-season में अच्छा कर रहा था. Chukwueze is back, he is decent. But what I'm seeing is Inter, of course, massive upgrades. And what I'm seeing is, which I want to segue to now, Roma are signing players what they need.
Chetan, before you come to Roma, I
cannot believe in. We had this discussion. in the Greek defender. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Koliakilis.
Yeah, Kurelakis.
Dude, मैंने उसको मेरे मैनेजर में लिया हुआ है. Okay, and I have no idea how so many clubs slept on him. I have no idea. I think Inter were linked with him, right?
Yeah, no, we were not. Just before you come to Roma, I just want to address two things very quickly because I think Boden ka comment मेरे को, he's clearly trolling with the Gonzalo Ramos and Spence thing, but I don't know what maybe he's not woken up on the right side of bed today, but definitely I do not agree with this. Again, if you think Spurs' problem were down to the bunch of players.
By the way, just to tell you, Bundian, एक चीज बता रहा हूँ. Spurs might have finished over there, okay, but Spurs are like Florentina types hai, or probably a little better than Florentina. Okay, they have been a top team, and Spurs, by the way, has more pull than many of the top EPL clubs. They have more budget than many clubs. Okay,
they landed Tonali. They landed Tonali for the fee they did.
Arsenal could have bought him. Yeah, and I think Spurs have a great pull. They always, over the years, they have always pulled in great players. League nahi jeet rahe, to bhi always stars attract.
Yes, they have. Yes, it's. I know many people say how, but they always have, which is a very good punch in the. I know
Vander Vaart से, मैं तो Vander Vaart तक जा रहा हूँ भाई. Rafael Vander Vaart, Pavlyuchenko याद है अजय? साला पूरा Serie A उसको Pavlyuchenko को chase करा था, साला Spurs चला गया.
I love Pavlyuchenko a lot. But yeah, no, I know Boden mostly is very trolling because he has that habit. And one more thing, congrats to Uncle Sharma on becoming a father. I hope you make your daughter an Interista, but nothing else is acceptable. I'm sorry.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, no, nothing else is acceptable. But yeah, Chintan bhai, you can take over with Roma because I also have a follow-up question.
Before I go to Roma, I would like to say that last year I know Inter missed out on a lot, but Ajay, Acerbi, Divrai gaya, उनके पास Stones आ गया, okay. And I'm assuming Pavard again. I know Pavard के offline antics बहुत है, but he's not a bad player. He's a pretty decent player. They are getting Spence. They are getting Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones' work rate is fantastic. मतलब Fratesi आजू बाजू भी नहीं आएगा उसके. And I think strikers तो always है. Ajay, this is a project, and this is why my segue ये है. What I'm seeing with Inter is first time chasing positions, not names. Is I'm seeing with Roma this season. Well, I'm very, very positively surprised at Roma's buy because Roma are also the club जो last minute में 20-30 million डाल के name से किसी को उठा देते थे just because end of the season आया है. The Greek defender, I'm very surprised how so many clubs under the radar चला गया. But Ajay, you have to be very happy with this. It's unbelievable how you are chasing players right now.
So far, so good, man. Losing Somerville was, I think, थोड़ा सा एक hit लगा because it was all done.
Ajay, I'm sorry. Let me cut you. It is losing if you lose by 1-2 million. भाई ये तो competition नहीं था.
नहीं यार, मतलब वही यार, क्या कर सकते Saudi money का यार.
By the way, just to tell you off the record, Tijani is linked with Saudi, so just imagine.
Yeah. Oh my God, ये तो 61 million का agreement already है, I think. But yeah, Ajay, just based addition to what Chintan asked, I wanted to add because, see, this is what not my question exactly, but yeah, it looks like what I agree with Chintan is कि Roma, the last 2 years, it has been evident but not successful. Roma is trying to add depth finally, and I think the difference-making factor here is Gasperini also, as much as I do not like the guy, because it's quite evident that Roma has always, over the last 2-3 years, has given many people this vibe that Roma chalo Scudetto ke liye compete karega, top 2 aayega, but always, the reality is Roma falls short. That's just the reality of it, right? And finally, it looks...
कौन ये delusion में था? Not Roma.
ये भाई मेरे पास comments पड़े हैं Roma Scudetto. जब आप लोग ने याद है Belotti को sign किया था, I remember that's when I heard people say Roma Scudetto when you signed Belotti. So
कौन है लोग? कौन आते हैं?
बताता हूँ आपको WhatsApp पे भेजता हूँ, screenshots है मेरे पास अभी भी. Point being, all that aside, I'm not trying to troll or anything. Point is, I think at least as what Chintan bhai said, finally Roma are kind of at least trying to be serious while trying, like at least looking to add depth. Look, Rodrigo Mora may or may not happen because I know deal का थोड़ा चल रहा है इधर उधर, but still what you're trying to do, even if Luis Enrique is a brain dead player, whatnot, at least what you guys are trying to do is cope up with some depth which rather Roma did not have in the past. You guys are being, I know you guys have your own financial problems, FFP respect नहीं हो रहा है, वो सब हो रहा है, but Friedkin के बारे में जो भी बोलो, वो लोग at least outright जाके aggressively issues target करते. You can, if I had to compare it to Chintan bhai's club, which obviously Cardinale को देखो, मतलब इतना टाइम लेता एक्ट करने को, बट फ्रीडकिंस एटलीस्ट एक्ट व्हेन इट्स नीडेड. जैसे चिंतन मैंने कोरिलिया किसका बोला 15 मिलियन में डन. Moves are being made essentially. This guy Nahuel Molina, whatever you want to say about the player, not the same, but went out and got it done. That's the point, right? तुम दे रहे हो. So what have your thoughts been like? And generally, जैसे चिंतन मैंने बोला, क्या लग रहा है? Finally, Roma can compete on multiple fronts. Are you optimistic?
Optimism तो है यार. मतलब that's a curse of being a football fan. We all go into the season as eternal optimists, but I feel that D'Amico is also just joined in. It is his first transfer window. Of course, he's worked with Gasperini at Atlanta. And just to recap, वही था, Somerville अभी नहीं मिला तो नहीं मिला. I think there is a plan B, there is a plan C, but as Chintan said, it is not really about the player, it is about the gas system now. And हमने अटलांटा में ये देखा है चिंतन परम कि उसके पास में पापू गोमेज था. पापू गोमेज, you thought he would retire at Atalanta, and वो Gasperini का बच्चा जैसा था, but they had a falling out. Papu Gomez moved on, unthinkable at that time. क्या किया गैस्परिनी ने उसको रिप्लेस कर दिया. तो यार इलिचिच, मुरियल, जपाटा, लुकमैन, चार्ल्स डेकेटलारे, इतने सारे लोग अटलांटा में आए गए, but that system was so strong that those players, just look at Coop Miners, man. I mean, what a player he looked at Atalanta and shadow of himself at Juve. So all in all, there is optimism. Not very ऐसा नहीं कि रोमा स्कूडेटो को चैलेंज करेगी और वगैरह वगैरह. I think the goal is to consistently finish in the top 4, get that Champions League money coming in, and then look at probably going deep in the Champions League, causing a few upsets here or there. I think that is going to be the goal. अगर कोई silverware के लिए target करना, I think realistically Coppa Italia पे if you can get a decent run going, that's what Gasperini should target. But all in all, I think Chintan Param, so far so good. The market is still not over. And अगर Gasperini को Molina चाहिए था, fair enough. Like, to be honest, Zeki Celik, I saw a few UA fans celebrating 2 pre-season games. It's just pre-season, man. I mean, I know what we've had to endure for the last 3 years. So Molina is definitely in my books even right now an upgrade over Celik. Luis Enrique का देखते हैं होता है कि नहीं, but that essentially
please by all means.
That essentially means that Gasperini is looking at switching Wesley to the right, and that's why.
But one thing I want to say about Luis Enrique, I think what I saw also from your sources is that basically the thing here is because the Rodrigo Mora signing has kind of stalled down because Porto changed their conditions last minute. So today we'll get to know if it happens or not. By the way, fantastic talent. He's not entirely part of Farioli's project. As somebody who watches Porto as my second club, I can tell you fantastic talent still. I would not rule him out. It's just that he's not entirely, because Farioli ne signings kar diye, he's kind of out of Porto's project. And let me remind you, he was actually anyways going to leave last season for Saudi. So he's anyways been on his way out. Point is, if the Rodrigo Mora signing does not happen, I read that Luis Enrique could be looked at as an option in midfield because Luis Enrique can actually play in that shadow striker role.
Yeah.
It's not that he's only a wing back. He drifts into midfield. The only issue with him, let me just give you some caution, is that A, he's brain dead. B, the point is वो right wing back है, वो actually winger था, उसको right wing back Deserbi ने बनाया, but because his right foot is good, he prefers playing on the left so that he can kind of cut in on the right. He's very brain dead, and honestly, even at Marseille, when Deserbi really made him play good, the point was it took a lot of effort to get a lot of confidence in him. He's a very weak mentality player, to put it out there. Like बहुत shy है, बहुत nervous player. उसको जब तक तुम confidence नहीं हिला सकते ना, he's not going to do well. So that was just my 2 cents in case you end up signing him.
That just might be in gas territory also.
That's what. I won't be surprised if he has a weird redemption arc and he scores against us or something. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out. Yeah.
अजय, पर तेरे को क्या लग रहा है इसमें how extraordinarily involved Gasperini is amongst all these sides?
Very, very, very. The whole reason why Masara left is because Gasperini and Masara did not work together. Uske pehle you had Thiago Pinto and Mourinho who couldn't work together. Right? It was just so stupid, Chintan Param, कि तुमने मतलब क्या सौरव गांगुली और शाहिद अफरीदी को एक साथ में डाल के तुमने चलो साथ में काम करो. It's never going to work. So D'Amico है, Gasperini wants He's got that say, and like Param said, the Feed Kids have backed him. Also very excited about Santiago Castro. Really liked him at Bologna, of course. And it's a bit of a gamble, no doubt. Dekhte kya hota hai. But most importantly, boys and everyone in the comments, the first thing that I'm happy is that no sales so far. अब तक मनु कोने, इवान इंडिका सबको रखा हुआ है उन्होंने, which is really great because ये historically हमने देखा कि एक तो जाता ही है. And this year it looked like Manu Kone would leave. For some time it looked like Endika would leave. I don't know who invented the rumor of Swilar to UA because Swilar came out and categorically denied it. Like he was like, I didn't hear, nor that I want to hear. Forza Roma, he said that. So, ये सब पहले होता था कि few years ago where these moves would happen out of nowhere. Like Pjanic was turning up and like paying his release clause and leaving the very next day. So ये सब होता था पहले. So as a Roma fan, very cautiously happy कि ये नहीं हुआ. And let's see, building blocks hai, and optimistic about the season. Let's see how it goes. I mean, like I said, still a few more weeks to go. अगर Rodrigo Mora आया, well and good. अगर और कोई आया, I'm more than happy, man. Just so that we can keep the core of the team and hopefully sign a few good players and make it work.
Yeah, that was the key. Before we move into Juve, Fiorentina and the other clubs, quickly, I just want to take a few comments related to the mercato because people have been keeping their comments coming in. So I'll just take a few quickly. We have Ritam also. He says Giuntoli is actually doing a decent job, which is fair. Because first of all, I'm quite surprised with the Giuntoli dislike. I'm not a big fan of him either, but he's gotten the market moving. Ajay, very quickly, Atalanta linked with Noah Lang. Not that Napoli have opened up, but do you see him as a fit under Sarri? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's a very Atlanta-esque player बोलने के लिए. And भाई वो अभी नापोली में कॉन्टे के बाद एलेग्री आया तो I think Noah Lang
डर के भाग जाएगा obviously. वो मतलब Noah Lang is all that kind of that stylish modern day player और उसमें आ जाता है तुम्हारा 40s का कोच या 50s के कोच वैसा वाइब है पूरा मतलब that's just hilarious. But Nahuel Molina got a great welcome, by the way, as Shivam said. Obviously, there is no surprise about that. Manjil Chintan Bhai answered this. Like I think Chintan Bhai, just to put it bluntly, and if you could answer this quickly, I think you're just glad that the market is about to resume, right? More than anything.
Yeah. First of all, so many names on the market. Actually, now it's panic time. Param, अगर इतने लोग जाएंगे तो आएगा कौन?
So,
भाई, I'm to like, what's your take on Milan market? I think we got a striker. I'm happy about it. I'm still more excited to see Kamada over Gonzalo Ramos, but I'm more happy about Amorim. Let's see how he makes them play. But for me, the market has been so. Like I'm not very impressed by it. I'm not. Everyone knows I was not a Gila fan, anyways. He's a ball playing centre back, but I'm not a big fan. So
he's back from his injury.
I think he's a better ball playing. बेस्ट बॉल प्लेइंग डिफेंडर हो जाएगा मिलान में बट डिफेंसिवली वो गैबिया से अच्छा नहीं है मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है सो आई थिंक इट्स नॉट दैट कुछ अच्छा बाय किया हम लोग ने बट ओके सो साल के 5 on 10 मिलान मार्केट एज ऑफ नाउ
फिर एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहता मिलान के लिए कि आई थिंक ना you have a very good talent on your hand in the form of Alfredo Cisse, जो Catanzaro में था last year, and he's actually very good.
By the way, I'll tell you, Param, good you brought that up because people are talking about Liberali चला गया था. I was very happy with him staying, but now he's linked to Torino.
Yeah, I know, because Abate is the coach, right? So I guess some dry loan, obviously under Abate.
But Amorim is a guy who gives chances. We are playing Europa League, could have stayed, but I would be happy. At least Liberali गया है. Milan fans should not be upset because he's equally that good and I think he's Italian. उसने Italian passport ले लिया है I think.
He's Italian. He's Guinean obviously by origin, but then he has an Italian. Alfredo Cisse अगर आपने कभी इसका नाम सुना नहीं होगा, ये बहुत अच्छा talent है, midfield में खेलता है and I don't know why so many ads, but point is he plays in midfield. चिंतन भाई अगर आपको दो सेंट देना है इसके प्रोफाइल के बारे में and what he did and why I feel honestly they should make space for him to be a player in the main team.
By the way, I thought when Samuel Ricci was leaving, I thought इसको space मिलेगा. But I see, as you said, I like Abate as a coach. Abate took Milan youth team into a youth final Champions League. He's a good coach. He can get the best. It's a dry loan. We will not make a mistake. By the way, I think people don't know that Milan did chase Liberali very badly. But of course, he chose Como, and I don't blame him, Ajay. I don't blame him because एक bitter हो सकता है कि you let me go, and but
Yeah.
Cisse is a good talent. He's physically very strong for his age. He's good with holding the ball. I am very excited for him, but I just hope again, he does not get lost in all these
Yeah.
stupid deals.
The main positive at Torino is कि Abate is one of those future upcoming coaches who's decent. So उधर एक hope है because Torino actually market पे थोड़ा decent for a change. They're
By the
doing
way,
some good things.
By the way, I don't know. Of course, everyone knows Zlatanka's story, but Torino was in line to be the next Milan manager. He was the Pioli ने बोला था कि we'll play the same system. Imagine he took that youth team to a Champions League final, and we had a semi-final before that. He did so well with that team, and randomly one night he was off. So it's just Serie A being Serie A.
Yeah. Just a couple more questions. Bhargav, मैंने बोल दिया. I think it's a good deal. I'm content with it. You can scroll back. Like I'm happy that he'll offer some good things from the defensive perspective. I still need him to improve on an offensive, from an offensive standpoint. If Roma miss out on top four, do you think Gasperini will be under pressure? Will the Friedkins pull the trigger? Who will score goals for the Giallo Rossi this season? Ajay bhai, I think the last question is
इसमें तो मतलब वो क्यों अजय भी आंसर नहीं करे, हम लोग आंसर करेंगे भाई. मालेन मतलब कौन मारेगा भाई?
Malen also, I think Chintan bhai, एक चीज ये है कि we have to remember Santiago Castro has been signed. While he did not have the greatest of seasons last time around, Ajay bhai, you want to just give 2 cents on this? Like, do you think Santiago Castro can?
I'm very happy. I think Malen and Castro can both play together. They can coexist and play well together. वो तो है ही. If I तो love Matthias Sule as well, and he needs that space, which he will get, because Dybala will be used more as a luxury player than a regular starter. So goals तो वहाँ पे है. I don't see that happening in terms of थोड़े bad patches आएंगे, but yeah, Malen is going to be a top guy. And to answer the first part of Bodhan's question, देख यार top 4 तो मतलब Serie A में तो वही है. It is like a rule है कि पता नहीं किसको मिल जाता है. इस साल कोमो आ गया, कुछ साल पहले बोलोने आ गई थी, अभी रोमा आया. It is
हाँ, फिर एक मिनट, फिर लोग बोलेंगे अरे वही 3 टीम डोमिनेट करता है. मतलब लोग ये सब भूल जाते हैं एंड में. If you वही टीम
तो वही है कि भाई, I think Gasperini is the long term project. He's got the backing of the Friedkin management.
Yeah.
Even if it's a year out from the Champions League places, I think Gasperini stays.
Fair. By the way, we have Castro का performance against Roma in that Europa League only, I think. भाई साहब, that I think तभी decide कर दिया था गैस से मुझे ये player लाके दो.
And also I think more and more it has become very clear that Gasperini prefers these attackers rather than a false 9 जो drift कर सके, जो kind of deep drop करके kind of दूसरों को play में लाए. He just kind of Castro में भी kind of work ethic है. So you know what, I think it's very clear what kind of strikers Gasperini prefers. Sharky भी है chat में, by the way. Let me remind you, he's the new Como fan of Calcio चर्चा. So देख अभी broadcast भी है Sharky. अभी तेरे पास कोई excuse नहीं है, तेरे को Serie A देखना पड़ेगा. तेरे को थोड़ा पैसा देना है, तो वैसे भी बड़ा कंटेंट क्रिएटर है, अच्छे पैसे कमा रहा है उधर से, तो तेरे को भी जी का सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना पड़ेगा और टीवी चैनल्स भी लेने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है. एक मिनट, 2 कमेंट है, उसके बाद we'll just move on to Juventus. Do you rate him? I think हो गया. मतलब I think he's serviceable. कर दिया उसने 2026. I think हो गया. मतलब I think it's time to move on.
चिंतन भाई को पूछा, परम भाई को नहीं.
बोलो चिंतन भाई.
I think he's a decent. He's an old school center back, no ball playing skills. So when you're playing a back 3, then probably he's the center back. He's okay, but as a Param, I think वो मतलब अभी तो of course decline आएगा कि नहीं. I think उसको 2 season अच्छा निकाल दिया. He was quietly decent, but he's also now injury prone, and I would not mind him on the bench, but I would not start him in a Europa League semi-final or a big match against Inter or Juve or Roma. So okay, I have a bias. That's it, nothing else.
ये भाई ये डिल्यूजन में मत रहे शार की, हमारा कोई अकाउंट नहीं है, हम अपने अकाउंट से रहते. तेरे को खरीदवाएंगे हम लोग, उल्टा तेरे को हम लोग भरवाएंगे हमारे अकाउंट का भी. ठीक है, रेडी हो जा, तू बहुत अमीर है अभी. Yeah, this I agree. Ruben Amorim will see. I think Chintan, it's very clear. It's not just him. We know the kind of coach Ruben Amorim is. We know he's adamant himself. it's not easy when he makes a compromise. If he ever does, it's never that easy. It takes a lot of effort. So for him to also get things in order, it is not going to be that simple, guys. It's going
भाई
to
वो
take some
सफर
time.
इतना वर्ड यूज करता है ना, सफर माय टीम हैज टू
वो
सफर।
इटालियन चीज है ना चिंतन भाई, ऊपर से ये भी सफर कर रहा है तो मतलब इट्स अ वेरी इटालियन
हमारा
थिंग,
सफर
राइट?
बहुत बुरा होने वाला है मिलान फैंस का।
Bodhan is clearly in some mood to troll because he wants Ranjit Bajaj at AC Milan. See, nothing. I can say nothing about this because you know what happens following that, so might as well not say anything. I think let's move on to Juventus, guys. Keep your comments coming in. Please do let me remind you. Please do like. Please do share. Please do subscribe. We are very close to 3K subs, and as you guys have been seeing, we are bringing content daily to you. And obviously, there is more to come now that we are also growing. So, guys, please do like. Please keep your comments coming in, and whatever, we are loving this discourse. So let's move on to Juventus, guys. चिंतन मैं आपसे स्टार्ट करता हूँ। यूवेंटस का भी मार्केट टू बी फेयर अपन दोनों की क्लब्स की तरह अटका था एक पॉइंट पे। ऑनेस्टली एक पॉइंट पे ना कोमो और फ्योरेंटीना को छोड़ के कोई कुछ नहीं कर रहा था, सब लोग अटके पड़े थे। अभी लास्ट डेज में बिकॉज यू नो अदर क्लब्स आल्सो ईज अप, एवरीबॉडी इज मूविंग एंड Juventus, I think before the two Milan clubs, Juventus made moves, not started. They've gotten back Randall Colomwani for 45 million and I like the signing a lot. Kerem Alaibegovic, obviously, you know, obviously that also quite being an expensive signing, but I personally feel worth it. And today, I'll pull up my screen. Obviously, there has been, not today, but since yesterday, there has been a breakthrough for the signing of John Lukumi from Bologna, which we obviously know is we watched the guy at Bologna and everything. We'll come to Alaibegovic, Colomwani because वो एक बार तो at least discuss कर चुके हम, but Juventus को हम जानते हैं चिंतन में have had to improve this backline for ages. Bremer has not been the same since his ACL. Kelly, Gatti के तो जितना कम ही बात करे तो अच्छा है। क्या लगता है, how much of a boost is this potential Lukumi signing?
Lukumi is a massive step up, Param. Massive. Like if you ask me, with the Bremer, of course, a good player, but injuries, of course, has been a downfall for him. But yeah, Kelly and you know, like my God, like I can't believe Gatti the way. Even some UA fans, I'm sorry to say, but some UA fans were really hyping up Gatti a lot. Like atrocious. Like he's slow, he's unbelievable. This is a massive jump. This is going to be a big boost for them. And Colomwani, I think, had his best spell in the past 2 seasons was with UA. I feel he was a pretty decent player. And I think let's not forget they are getting Nico Gonzalez also back, I think, from loan, right? Atletico buying him.
No, Atleti are not, but they're trying to get rid of Nico because, of course.
Yeah, but see,
quickly, would you take Nico Gonzalez at your club, Param and Chintan?
No. He was offered to us, by the way. He was offered to us before we.
I would take.
You would?
I would take it.
Wow, no. I'm big no, Chintan bhai.
No.
Not at all. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Chintan bhai. Go ahead. I have one more question for you after this. Then I'll come to Ajay bhai.
Yeah, I think again I feel मेरे को अजीब अभी भी लग रहा है कि they needed a Tijani kind of player. I think they were linked with Tijani in the middle. I think that would have been a very scary signing. They need a ball carrier, an amazing, skillful player. Nico Gonzalez is just
exactly. वही मैं देखा.
I can't get.
I've got some compete.
भाई प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा का क्वालिफिकेशन तो क्या है वो, और वो हर्षित राणा. Sorry, let's not deviate. But Colomwani, I think, had the best spell उसका जो था was with UA. I think it looked also good over there. But अभी Openda है और बाद Jonathan David है. They have a problem of many, I think, right now. See यार उसका भी I'm not. Of course, they've got 1 or 2 good players. Lukumi would be a massive jump for them. But मेरा UA का और मिलान का बहुत parallel transfer market लग रहा है. Like they randomly bought a Zeki Celic also in the middle. So मतलब you are like इधर एक इतना अच्छा कर रहे हो, बाद में एक इधर करके मतलब एवरेज कर रहे हो. So it is a very funny. उनके outgoings नहीं हो रहे यार. वो Luis is also back. How he said that I want to prove myself at UA, वो तो बोलना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, so my question was that before I go to Ajay, Spalletti said that Douglas Luiz could stay. I mean, that's crazy, Chintan bhai. What do you think?
Unbelievable. And by the way, this is not, let's not forget that this has to be Yildiz is not a breakthrough. This has to be star year. Breakthrough last season था उसका.
Breakthrough 2 season पहले हो गया.
नहीं, no, this season has to like, मेरे को अभी भी याद है last season वो ट्यूडोर भी उसको randomly गेम में से निकाल देता था. No, why you? That guy has to be a star player on the pitch at all times. Conceição again needs to step up. His final product is terrible. Otherwise, he's a good player. Even for Portugal, we saw. Locatelli, I'm sorry. I know some Juve fans like him, but my God, he's a terrible excuse for a captain. No balls, no mentality. He is not like, everyone knows Juve mentality kaisa hai. They were serial winners, of course, the number of league titles they have won. He does not even fall in that category. मतलब mental, forget player quality. अजय पर मैं क्वालिटी की बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं मेंटालिटी की बात कर रहा हूं. वो लेचे टाइप मेंटालिटी है उसका. This guy has to, like, I'm telling you, Nico Gonzalez might work because he's a hard working player.
Manuel Locatelli is like the UA का Instagram page जो जियो टैग करके इंडिया में कंटेंट पोस्ट करता है. I don't know anymore.
Dude, but I'm telling you, Kefren Turam again. Workload on Kefren Turam is insane. Like, I feel like he has too much workload on him. It's a decent thing, but मुझे लग रहा है ना, पता है, थोड़े मेरे को ना परम ऐसा लग रहा है ना, उन्होंने स्क्वाड बनाया है, थोड़ा मिसमैच है. स्क्वाड बड़ा है, थोड़ा मिसमैच है, थोड़ा फिल्टर आउट करना पड़ेगा. I don't know, like Openda is staying. They had to buy him.
He left, right? He left for Lyon.
But confirm, मतलब, is it a loan or is a
loan? Juventus are covering most of the salary. There is nothing.
तो बता रहा हूँ यार, ये तो टिमोथी विया है, लुइस है और निको गोंजालेस सब वापस आ गए. They need to get players off their books. I mean, like,
I think with UA now, Ajay, before I come to you, the scene is aiming to get stable now, because the last few years we've been seeing this turbulence hai UA mein, and because of that they're unable to fight for the title like they did obviously over all these years. And that continuity factor is important. How far can Spalletti get them? What can he salvage? And I agree with Chintan. Hum log na, as fans, generally hum log, whenever we look at the transfer market na, we get excited about the incomings. Kaun aayega. But people forget, it's the deadwood also that has to be cleared, and UA have to do that. There is so much. You can go on and on about the unwanted players. You can even look at someone like an Andrea Cambiaso and say, bhai, his head has gone ever since those Man City links. He's never been the same player.
Why? He's been terrible after that. Forget same player. He's been terrible. They should have sold him for that much money.
Yeah. योगेश फ्री है तो आज जरा अलेग्री के बारे में बात करने. अगर 5 मिनट भी आ सकता है तो तेरे को मेरा, I want to see you lose your hair, whatever you have left, and become like Allegri. But yeah, look at this.
I was just going to say, this guy, what is happening with him?
He's scoring in pre-season. Like, what is happening?
Guys, what about Rugani? वो भी वापस आ गया होगा शायद.
I think he's back as well. Correct. This is crazy. Like, this is just, and you know Spalletti, kabhi he loves his older players. You know, like it makes no sense to me that way, at least. Also, like, you have to remember, Vlahovic bhi gaya hai. Jonathan David ka future is, ठीक है, Vlahovic was, I think it's okay. He's gone to Besiktas. He's going to play under Italiano, whatever. Ajay bhai, if you were to answer this guy, like, David's future, again, still uncertain. There is talk of him being into Premier League clubs. You don't know what is going to happen, and it's coming from reliable sources like Romeo Agresti, who's probably the best source for UA. I mean, so late in the market, Jonathan David, I mean, again, not that he's good, but then what at times even I wonder, where is the planning? Is only Kolo Muani up top enough? He's not your national line either. क्या लग रहा है आपको इसके बारे में?
देख, Spalletti का एक है कि he can work with like a false nine or not someone who's a target man, because Spalletti has worked, like he's produced results, using those formations. But again, this is not Spalletti of the past, and I know कि DJ और मैं ये हमेशा.
I'm sorry, this is so funny.
DJ भाई का जो भी पियरलो जैसे बाल है ना, वो सब झड़ जाएंगे. DJ भाई
झड़ जाएंगे, वो DJ भाई Spalletti जैसा हो जाएगा. और फिर
इंडियन पियरलो से इंडियन Spalletti हो जाएगा DJ भाई का.
सच में, एंड ये बंदा जो है Spalletti जो है, he will, मतलब वो पॉलिटिशियन से बेकार है. वो अगर बोलेगा कि मैं आपको मेरे टर्म में स्वच्छ पानी दिला दूंगा, 2 महीने का बोला, मैंने तो बोला था कि भाई मैं तुमको कॉफी दे दूंगा, पानी नहीं. मतलब ऐसा बंदा है वो, कुछ भी बोलता है. I don't think so. Like UA, if they go in that patch where every club goes through it, right? एक 7-8 games का patch आता है where you don't get results, you don't get wins. he will lose the dressing room. I'm guaranteeing you that, because, like Chintan said, there are no leaders. I mean, like, we don't support Juve. Param has got a strong dislike. The thing is that this is not that Juve which had leaders like a Giorgio Chiellini, going back to a Del Piero, or even in that 9-year spell which Conte built and then Allegri took over. ये वो Juve है ही नहीं, and it starts from the management right
अजय
across to
अजय
the
सिंपल है,
leadership.
मिलान जैसा उसका हालत है. लास्ट ईयर कॉस्टिच इतना हाइप हो गया था, दैट बेस्ट प्लेयर, मतलब दे उनका और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. बोगा, ही आल्सो हैड इम्पैक्ट. अभी दोनों गायब, दोनों चले गए, दे बोथ लेफ्ट. My point is that what is the point of getting players and then going? Coop Miners को तो इतना of course दिया हुआ है. They are justifying him still. He's not the player. Atlanta ने full fraud किया है. Rhythm मतलब full fraud कर दिया. Positionally very good player, but he's not the player the price they paid for. So my find is Kostic, बाद में Jeremy Boga, ये लोग player तुमने buy Openda, और ये तो तुमने buy किया था new cycle चालू करने के लिए, just like Milan. You are spending a bomb on them, and now you are getting, like, as in they're going away. So my point is, ये vicious cycle से अभी Roma looks like they're out. Inter were never in it, but Roma also buying players more, and I think Gasp is directly involved with players buying. So this is what is needed. And Roma, Milan, and Juve में क्या हो रहा है? There's a disjointed लग रहा है मुझे पूरा.
Yeah. Also, just one thing, like एक डी ग्रेगोरियो ना देख भाई, उसका भी हो गया, like obviously he's being pushed out. अजय भाई, ये मूव पे मेरे को आपके थॉट्स चाहिए, राइट? डी ग्रेगोरियो aside, they're linked with Zion Suzuki because Zion Suzuki has signed for PSG, by the way, 33 million something. And this is what we say, right? वो यूए का even objectively अगर मैं बात करूँ, obviously as a rival I don't want good things to happen to यूए. The point is objectively also see how much the drop is in that standards, right, as a club. Because if you really think about it, a prime UA would not go begging around to any other club, say हाँ बस एक सीजन के लिए मैं अपना एक सीजन के लिए ड्राई लोन पे गोलकीपर लूंगा. और we are in this situation potentially where UA is just going to PSG is like, चलो हम लोग को एक सीजन के लिए ड्राई लोन पे दे दो जब तक हम शायद किसी और को साइन कर ले, just to kind of manage for one season. What do you think of that? I don't like such things where like a big club, whether even if it was AC Milan or anybody else, or even if my club was involved, I would have absolutely hated it to just go begging to another club and say हाँ मेरे को बस एक ड्राई लोन पे एक सीजन के लिए तुम्हारा नया परचेज दे दो. Again, maybe that's my ego, but I just don't buy into this mentality. क्या लगता है आपको?
देख भाई, डी ग्रेगोरियो अपन ने मोन्जा में देखा कि यार the guy is not that bad. He's regressed now, and that also has to do a lot with the loss of confidence, because goalkeeping is all about confidence, man. And how quickly can you forget that mistake? अगर आपने एक मिस्टेक कर दिया एक गेम में, and if that is still in your head after a minute of action, you are not in that right frame of mind. So a lot of goalkeeping goes down to mentality, which unfortunately Di Gregorio has been losing it. I know, which is why UA have been in the market, from Svila to Emi Martinez to God knows who. सबके साथ लिंक है. शायद एक बार मेरे साथ भी लिंक हुआ था UA का, इतने गोलकीपर्स पे अप्रोच किया. But like you said, it is pretty sad, but that's also the market dynamics, and also fall from grace for this UA team. Like Param, Chintan, they also signed Jeff Ekator, and I know so many UA fans who are casual UA fans. They were like, "कौन है ये बंदा? Who is this guy?" And like the way that they're celebrating and getting Zeki Çelik, and we're justifying that he was starting for Roma, and where why he was starting for Roma, what was the reason? So, man, I mean, what a fall from grace, man! What a fall from grace.
Yeah, I want to answer one thing quickly before we move on from UA also. Yes, I have been one of the like Suzuki Nicolo तूने बोला इधर, for example, he's not a major upgrade. I would still say an upgrade, but I agree with Shyam because I've been one of Suzuki's biggest critics. Even back when he was outside Italy, बहुत brain dead moments होते थे इसके बहुत ज़्यादा, but he has actually improved a lot. I completely agree. Like वो बहुत उसने World Cup में भी अच्छा किया था. So I am happy to see his trajectory. I mean, in that sense. एक question है इधर जो मैं quickly answer करना चाहता हूँ from Adnan. Since you all are Serie A fans, how is Yildiz as a player on the left wing? Arsenal are linked to him. I feel they will bid for him. You will sell him, and how is he as a player? देख मैं तेरा last part of the question quickly answer करता हूँ. Regardless of their struggles financially, they are not going to sell him this season. He is their main man. He's their star kid. Okay, so I would like to kind of dispel that. एक तो unless you guys come up with like some crazy money, maybe, but it's very very unlikely. Okay. Secondly, yes, he's better out wide. एक spell था ना last time जब Thiago Motta used to keep playing him behind the striker. Absolute waste of his abilities. He's better out wide because he just is very nimble with the ball, very good at cutting in, and he needs that space to run in. And he's again, look, he's a fantastic talent. I expected better from him at the World Cup for Turkey, regardless of how bad Turkey are, how average Turkey are. I expected him to take the lead. He failed at that, but again, you have to remember he's still a kid, and at this age, he's already captained UA और वो grow कर रहा है. So he's still a fantastic talent. Do I see a signing with Arsenal this season? Absolutely not. Maybe again, बाकी आगे जो होना है वो होता है, but ये window में तो hopes मत रखो, I would say.
Not so late. I think अभी बोल रहे हैं 100, even if 100 million bid करोगे, it's too late for UA to replace him, and they're banking on him.
Yeah,
and exactly. Just to give an update, out of all the Serie A clubs, UA as a club will not care about money. Like Milan might get tempted to sell, Inter might get tempted to sell, or Roma might get tempted to sell. Or
I would say though, this version of UA only because of the financial mess they are in, which they have shown us.
They will not so late. They will not sell their star player who they're banking on so late in the transfer market. 100, they have to replace him with another player of that quality, which is going to be very hard.
Yeah, I mean that is there. We'll come to Fiorentina, Nicolo. उस पे आ रही है हम लोग इसके बाद, because obviously सबसे active club Como के साथ वो और Como के बारे में बात करेंगे जरा. But just a couple more comments, then we move on. We'll close this stream shortly. हाँ, देख Palestra. I mean, obviously Palestra has had a very decent preseason. I know उसके पहले 2 games थोड़े shaky थे, but again, if you're looking at it from an Italian standpoint, I hope he does well. Obviously, because you need him to do that, because he was good at Cagliari. सिंपल क्वेश्चन, हम लोग तो हाई बोलने वाले भाई, इस चीज के लिए ना नहीं बोलने वाले. तुम टीवी चालू करके देखो, जी पे आने वाला है. आई वुड से डिपेंड्स ऑन.
Don't compare two leagues. Both have their own thing. Premier League is very different. Serie A, you will find it more like a chess game. Enjoy it. The game is more tactical, and good thing about Serie A is at least 7-8 clubs are genuinely decently big clubs. So there are 10 times more rivalries, derbies in Serie A than in EPL.
एक और चीज इब्राहिम, अगर आप 1 घंटे से ये स्ट्रीम पे हो, अगर हम लोग को सुन रहे हो, तो आप समझ जाओ कि ये लीग भी इंटरेस्टिंग है. If you find it interesting, that is, we are talking about this league, and we've been watching it, for 2 decades plus, and like amongst the 3 of us, we have 60 years of experience, and अगर आप UK को include करोगे तो और एक 30 साल ऐड कर दो, तो 90 साल के हम, literally old
40 नहीं, 100 साल हो जाएगा ना. 40
क्या
40
100 साल हो जाएगा. 100
साल तो क्रॉस नहीं हो रहा है. आप तीनों को और मेरे को ऐड करके. हाँ, बट द थिंग इज, सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, जिस चीज मैंने बोला, मैं वही बोलने वाला था. अगर आप किसी चीज को नई चीज को एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हो ना, मैं सिंपल लॉजिक आपको दूंगा कि डोंट स्टार्ट विद दैट. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट दिस थिंग, बट डोंट स्टार्ट विद अ नेगेटिव कॉन्टेक्स्ट. यू ट्राई टू एंजॉय दैट थिंग इन इटसेल्फ. लाइक अगर आप प्रीमियर लीग से कंपेयर करने के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखोगे ना, तो आपको शायद पसंद ही ना आए कुछ भी, because you are used to that end-to-end game in the Premier League, right? जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, it's a chess match. Don't compare stuff and just watch that thing for a bit, and then you decide for yourself. Pick your favorite team, whatever you want, and whatever, all of that. Just don't watch Napoli games Di Lorenzo plays for them. I am so ready to watch Di Lorenzo under Allegri, man. I'm just so ready to watch.
Boys, Tijani ka deal done, huh?
Yes, Tijani renders to Al Qudsi has done for 61 million, by the way.
And मैंने किसी ने comment में डाला था कि why aren't Serie A clubs going for him? Because City wanted money. They didn't want any deals. They wanted to sell him.
And I think Milan is going to get a share from this. ना कुछ 13-14 million मिलने वाला है इससे.
7 million, 7 or 10 million मिलेगा.
I'm pulling it up. Wait.
Milan got money from a lot of sales. We got money from Liberali also. We got money from Pobega. So yeah. Milan
के tweet के हिसाब से, according to Milan reports, Milan would receive 14 million from Man City to any club before 2030, which is what is happening. So then 14 million is what you will get apparently, which is good money. Obviously,
it's very sad. He's a good player. Again, Pep didn't position him. He started off very well at City, by the way. He had some 3-4 assists already, but I guess positioning seed नहीं खेल सकता number 6.
Nicolo, ये मेरे को check करना बाकी है. I don't know. Do you guys know the answer? I have not checked yet. I will subscribe very soon. But we'll check and
what I heard is 1 year they're still figuring out how to bundle it with Bundesliga or what.
पैक मैंने भी देखा था, कुछ पैक आया नहीं है अभी तक तो वर्ल्ड कप
है हाँ मैं भी उसी के लिए रुका हूँ इसलिए मैंने अब तक लिया नहीं है. I'll probably buy it next week. We'll keep you guys posted. Italian players to see this season or might get debut. This is a good question. I think just let's pivot to this quickly before we go to Fiorentina because एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. अभी एक बड़ा पॉइंट डी मार्जियो ने फिर से कल हाईलाइट किया कि obviously जो Samuel Inacio है जो बहुत बड़ा टैलेंट है, Italian talent, currently plays at Borussia Dortmund and is in and out of the first team. Yeah, Brazil have come calling again for him, and he said it in an interview that Italy is the nation of his heart and he feels more Italian. But if Italy keep delaying this call up, there is a possibility that Brazil might get his hands. Before Chintan, I'll come to you quickly. Before you answer this though, I want to say that if maybe there is a time to trust for Inacio to get called up, it's now because Mancini, as I keep saying, he has a history of calling up young players out of the blue. वो कर चुका है past में. Whatever you guys might think of him, he's the one coach that has in the past gone out of the grain and gone against the grain and called up young players. Are you optimistic about this? About retaining Samuel Inacio and just following up to his question, Pablo's question? Any interesting talents you think have a chance of getting called up?
I think he's gonna. I think Inacio, I think इतना call कर रहा है. I think he will be staying back. मुझे लग रहा है वो रहेगा. Italy will keep him because I think last game में भी we gave call ups just to keep them in the Italy के loop में अंदर. So see, I to still feel Mancini is not going to go all out and start like Baldini जैसा मतलब पूरा crazy starting 11. So I think he's still going to थोड़ा mix and match करेगा. I think I see Roma's Mancini play also under this Mancini. So I think he's not going to make a lot of changes for him. But I think that like the Pio Espositos and the Palestras will become regular starters. Bartesaghi, I think these guys will get more chances, as in they will be proper starters. I think Palestra, first sub immediately types. These guys will get their chance. I don't expect Udogi just to come in and walk into the starting 11. Itna bhi kuch massive नहीं होने वाला है. But yes, I think Inacio, I think he will stay because अभी यार इटली जाके अर्जेंटीनियंस को ढूंढ रही थी विद इटालियन हेरिटेज एंड ऑल दैट. ये तो सामने से बोल रहा है तो एंड ही इज अ डिसेंट प्लेयर, व्हाई नॉट. एंड आई थिंक मैंने किधर पढ़ा भी था कि ब्राजीलियंस तो स्काउट करने भी उसको गए थे. Like in the preseason, yeah, they had sent people for this friendly only. That Asal के सामने that sent their players. So Coyote, yes, I think Coyote को should be looked at also.
Yeah, but Coyote is a mystery which I have to lost. एक पॉइंट तक मेरे को रीजनिंग समझ रही थी, बोल रहे थे कुछ उसको इंजरी होती थी, बट दैट वाज लाइक ऑल द वे बैक 6-7 मंथ्स अगो.
अगेन आई थिंक आई शोंट टॉक, बट आई डोंट नो, मेरे को रुजेरी पहले से अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था. आई एम नॉट अ बिग रुजेरी फैन. आई लाइक बर्टसागी मोर.
लेट्स नॉट इवन टॉक अबाउट दैट गाय बाय द वे.
दैट मैन, यस. सो आई थिंक नॉट अ मैसिव चेंज, बट आई थिंक अंडर Mancini one player I can see shining is Pio Esposito.
Yeah. Ajay, I'll come to you before I just give my 2 cents on this and we move to Fiorentina. Pio Esposito is what Chintan by picked. Who's it for you? Because see, there is talent. We keep saying this है, मतलब ये भी है, क्या बोलते हैं इसका नाम, Pio Esposito. Look, I feel Alfredo Ceesay, I don't think he'll be called up, but then there is lot of potential in the kid. There is your again. I personally even think Libera. Again, I don't think he's ready for a call up that way because I feel थोड़ा Libera को लेके थोड़ा over हो जाता है. But there is potential. What is there any other player in mind for you? Do you think there is anyone else who's capable of Roberto Mancini looking for the next window?
Look, I don't know when Giovanni Leone is going to get fit, but I see him coming back. If Scalvini remains fit, I think he comes back. Left back mein Italy have been blessed to have a lot of players from a Di Marco to a Ruggeri to a Destiny Udogi. All are there wahan pe. Then of course midfield mein you will see the natural evolution of the likes of Pisilli coming in into the midfield as well. Hopefully gets more game for Roma also. Want him to be there. I think the major issue here, Param and Chintan, is the wide players. Do Italy have those quality wide players? Because Mancini will want to play in that in that shape. And हमने देखा कि Chiesa was so effective, when Mancini was there the first time around. Do Italy have enough talent coming through the ranks? Yes, but वो डेवलपमेंट के लिए उनको गेम टाइम मिलेगा कि नहीं, दैट इज द बिग क्वेश्चन. सो दैट्स माय ओनली एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न टू बी ऑनेस्ट. दोस वाइड अटैकिंग प्लेयर्स, दोस क्रिएटिव प्लेयर्स आल्सो वहां पे सेंटर फॉरवर्ड में आई थिंक फॉर नाउ you have Moise Kean, you have Esposito there, so you have Skamaka also. So वहां पे है, you have a few decent target men, and of course Pio Esposito is I would say like अगर वो इंग्लिश होता ना तो सोच कितना हाइप होता था उसके पीछे. But
Pio Esposito and Kamada, I'm going to see them.
Yeah, I think Kamada and I think that would be good. Also just बोलो sorry अजय भाई कोई बोलो.
Absolutely. So वो एक पोजीशन लॉकडाउन है. ये एक जो क्रिएटिव प्लेयर है, खैर आजकल तो नंबर 10 उतने नहीं है वो में सिस्टम्स में, but someone who can kind of like change the course of games. Even like so for example just randomly मेरे को एक बाटुरीना का नाम आया. The way that
भाई क्या गोल मारा उसने against Arsenal. By the way, the goal, you all saw the goal he scored against Arsenal in pre-season yesterday.
I did. So
fantastic.
If you don't have a player like Baturina at this point of time, to be very honest, there are players with potential, but are they there right now? I don't think so. So that's where it's a very interesting question. I think it's
Rishi very quickly Scalvini का ना.
I told कि अगर Scalvini fit रहेगा तो he walks.
I agree. वही मैं वो बोलना चाहता हूँ. Unless this guy remains fit, like he's not a bad player, but वो available ही ज़्यादा नहीं रहता है यार. That's the main problem. And just very quickly, I want to say, just tie it into what you guys mentioned, Pio Esposito. I think Theo Keller and Nicolo, I can see you're an Interfan. What needs to happen is I rate him very highly. He has tons of potential, rightly so. And he's built, he's ready. Point is, uska na thoda pace kam pad jata. He's not the fastest player, which is okay. But what he needs to do is, whenever he gets the ball, he needs to make it count. Now thoda easily niche jata hai, which is very irritating to watch. Like even as a fan, एक touch दिया उसके जैसा बल्कि इंसान जो इतना बल्कि है, जो इतना strong है, goes down very easily. He needs to mature thoda in his gameplay, which is okay. Again, he's only 21, so he needs to find more maturity. Again, for me, he does as much as goals and assists as last season, which he had a combined in double figures. It's okay. He needs to mature more for me. Thoda, he needs to stop flopping around, I feel, to kind of do better. You guys are doing a great job. No other YouTuber is talking about Serie A. Thanks, man. Thanks. Again, Italian football is this is the home of Italian football in India. That's always going to be primary. जितना भी हम दूसरा content करेंगे, जितना भी चिंतन भाई will switch to Arsenal from AC Milan very shortly, this will always be the home of Italian football. But all those jokes aside, guys, we'll come to the comments. Keep it coming. Please do like, share, subscribe. चिंतन भाई, I'll start with you and come to Ajay भाई also. दो क्लब जिस पे हाईलाइट जाता है as perceptively and on paper as being the winners of the mercato so far. A, Fiorentina, B, Como. And I want to start with Fiorentina. Bhai, matlab, Paratici of all people, Chintan bhai, we've seen this guy make so many mistakes, right? At UA, so many of them. And he's very polarizing. He's a polarizing figure. Not that he's not been a good director, but he's been very polarizing, rightly so. And the amount of signings these guys have completed. I'll pull up a list. But what are your thoughts on how quickly these guys have moved and they look sorted?
एक नाम देखे तो दुख होता है. How did clubs miss on Atta? Like,
yeah.
What a steal! What a steal that is! What a player, man! Like, unbelievable. Like, I वो सबसे पहले मुझे चुभता है. To be very honest, what a decent ball carrier. He can play so many positions. Physically astute, knows the league well. Oh my God! Like, I don't know. फ्लोरेंटीना दो तीन सीजन से अच्छा भी डिसेंट कर रही थी मतलब मार्केट में, बट दिस टाइम तो बॉस they've outdone themselves. They're unbelievable. And another gem which I feel they've bought, who's going to be a very good workhorse player, is Fabian for them. Oh my God, like he's a very decent league known player. I'm jealous of Fiorentina's transfer this season. It's unbelievable. Fabio Grosso is such a forward-thinking manager. I know people talk about Cesc Fabregas, rightly so, because Cesc Fabregas has done fantastic for them. But oh my God, ये वहाँ मारियो भी I think loan पे है ना, US है.
Yeah, obviously there are some, like as you said, there are some questionable signings. Let's not even mention the Spaniard here for whatever he's doing off the pitch. Let's not even look at him. Dragusin Chintan bhai, like I know again he can be a bit error prone, but then that athleticism and that speed usually that Fiorentina backline has lacked, right? That is what he gets. You have a good talent like Valdepeñas, also decent talent. Ajay bhai, jaise Chintan bhai, Atta is the, like Atta for me, getting Arthur Atta And Christ, Ina Ulai, bhai, wo to main to uska always, I was like, I like this guy in when he played with
After the World Cup, the people have gone
yeah,
crazy about him.
yes, exactly. And Trabzonspor mein he balled, and now Ajay bhai, for a club like Fiorentina to get hands on him when there were tons of clubs behind him after the World Cup, as Chindan bhai said, is insane. Like, anything you want to say about that?
पहली बात तो like before Ajay starts, like people forget because I rate one Fiorentina midfielder very highly, decently is Fagioli, and किसी ने mention किया I still have hopes on him. मुझे दो players बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. One unfortunately plays for Lazio, it's Rovella. Rovella is the player which Italy needs, I feel, and Fagioli unfortunately, of course, his game was all slowed down. I hope with such quality players around him, he can put up his game. I am very happy to see Mastantuono or here. My God, like how have they pulled all these things off? And I can't get Atta. Ajay, मतलब ये तो ना मिलान, रोमा, इंटर को blindly buy कर देना था इसको.
बोलो अजय.
That's true. मेरे को एक बहुत ही super political joke बोलना है, but मैं नहीं बोलूँगा. जाने दे, लफड़ा नहीं चाहिए. But yeah, I mean, credit where it's due, and I think the only thing that Grosso needs is a bit of time and patience to get all these players up and going, and getting a system running. We've seen कि Sassuolo में उसने क्या किया है. He transformed that Sassuolo team, to be very honest. So very, very exciting times for them. Also, don't forget, boys, they still have the likes of Moise Kean, David De Gea for experience. So they're building on that. I mean, of course, they had a very Spursy-like season last season around where they almost got relegated, and they were in a serious threat for quite a while. So they needed this reboot, and rightly so, man. I mean, we have Daksh Bhai also in the chat. Paratici left Spurs for his girlfriend. I mean, he ended up with...
Yeah, Daksh is in the chat, by the way.
The Italian Spurs, which is Fiorentina. So, no change over there.
We have Daksh in the chat. So, yeah, he's right. Like, obviously, personal reasons, jo usne bole the us time pe. And apparently, he has family roots in Florence as well, by the Paratici. So, whatever it is, and obviously cleaning up his image after all the off-the-pitch debacle. But ek signing, obviously, because this tweet is 8th August ka, one signing they've made, and I'm a big fan. They got rid of that scam of a player in Roberto Piccoli. Like, I don't know. He has a good agent, by the way, and he's landed up at Bologna. Absolute scam of a player. They've replaced him with Matteo Pellegrino. Ajay bhai, what a signing. Because Shivam pulled it up, said it. Pellegrino, fantastic. वो last season Cuesta के अंदर उसका इतना output नहीं था because of the way Cuesta plays. But my God, what a bullish striker. And I need to remind you, Juve wanted Pellegrino. I think मेरा और शिवम का इसमें बहुत हो रहा था. I think Pellegrino would have solved a lot of Juve's issues. Maybe might not have been. Bolo.
Pellegrino is Chintan or my kind of striker. Old school, tall, big lad. You put him up front, he will hold up the ball. He'll win all the headers. He'll bring that physicality in, and he's great technically also. Very old school.
It's official.
Love it.
Just 20 minutes ago. Just 20 minutes ago, it's been official anyways. Pellegrino to Fiorentina, and for 20 million, by the way.
That's a very kick-ass graphic, by the way.
Like, this is proper Florence. This is proper Florence. Chintan, just quickly before we move on to one thing about Fiorentina, आप क्या rate करते हो under Grosso? Because Grosso थोड़ा, do you expect Pellegrino to get finally unlocked? Because under Cuesta, again, I'm not saying Cuesta was wrong in the way he played because उसका एक अलग approach है. But do you expect Pellegrino to be fully unlocked under Grosso given the way he plays? Because I can see that happening personally.
Yeah. I think best place for him. I think Grosso. What I like about Grosso, he gives a lot of बहुत faith रखता है. As in he's calm and see. Listen, the point is with so much depth, like Moise Kean पे बहुत pressure था, and of course last season तो Goodmanson भी था, so a lot of he had his own case going on the background, so that does play a role. So I think two players. I think Pellegrino and Atta are going to ball under Grosso. Like I can't. I'm sorry. This is that season where we are looking Samuel Ricci ko nikalo. How did I can't. I'm जब से Atta announced हुआ है ना, I have not got to know it. How did Fiorentina bag him for 25 million?
Yeah. I just one thing. While there is obviously a good market going on for Fiorentina, and obviously we'll come to Como very quickly before we wrap this up. एक चीज है, funnily enough, the two teams which have essentially been the most active on the mercato are battling it out in a way because Como actually want Moise Kean, and they've been trying. They've at least probed ground. Uh, uh, and apparently, as again, I don't want to look at whatever, but the point is, Como, because Morata को Como ने basically option दिया है, तू जा या फिर तू रहे. Basically, I mean, Morata is not an idiot. If you give him a choice, he's going to end up staying. But point is, Como are probing ground for Moise Kean. Fiorentina are not fully opposed to the sale. Apparently, they want an X figure, which could be 45 to 50 million, and Como at the moment seem ready to splash 40 or 35 to 40. Chitan bhai, quick thoughts on this. Do you think Moise Kean, एक तो first question, since we're still sticking to Fiorentina, is do you think Pellegrino and Kane can be accommodated together, or it's okay if Keane leaves and Pellegrino is to be made the star man? Because एक चीज मैं Moise Kean के बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ. Look, I don't like to say अरे प्लेयर का एक आइडियल एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए, बट जब वो कभी कभी ना ऑफ हो जाता है ना, चेकआउट हो जाता है ना एक क्लब से, वो चेकआउट हो जाता है. जो लास्ट सीजन हो रहा था फ्योरेंटीना के साथ भी, आई एम नॉट टू से दैट ही इज नॉट इंप्रूव, बट लास्ट सीजन भी यही हुआ था कीन का. जब फ्योरेंटीना खराब खेल रही थी, people expected him to lead by, from the front. He did not do that in that sense. So क्या लगता है आपको? Do you think if the opportunity is right, you cash in on him, and with that 40 million you can still improve the rest of the team, because now you have Matteo Pellegrino still there? क्या लगता है आपको?
100%. I don't think they both इतना भी easily compliment करेंगे एक दूसरे को. Pellegrino आ गया है, I would तो first, मतलब तुमने 40 million बोला तो चेक कभी लेने आ जाओ, सीधा फ्लोरेंटिना को बोलना चाहिए, because see, listen, Fiorentina are not going to be playing multiple competitions. Moise Kean for Como, again, Italian player, much needed. Let's not forget they've got my boy Patrick Cutrone back from loan. So, Cutrone is back. They're going to keep him, of course, for Italian reasons, for the Champions League and European deadline. But I feel it's a अगर 40 million दिया Moise Kean के लिए, तो फ्लोरेंटीना ने लूट लिया है कोमो को. 40 मिलियन फॉर मोइस कीन. मैं तो खुद चेक लेने चला जाता और मोइस कीन का हाथ पकड़ के लेके जाता.
By the way, and funnily enough, though Moise Kean still has the 62 million release clause, it's just that nobody wants to pay it. So in अंदर का नीचे side पे discussion हो रहा है. His release clause.
Just to tell you what you said, I know people are kind of forgetting Moise Kean had a decent season with Fiorentina here and all, but उसके पहले he is, मतलब मुझे बहुत लियाओ की याद आती है उसको देख के. वेरी मच लाइक वो उसका एंटिक्स बोस्निया की गेम में ही. Ajay, I don't even want to go there how much I despise him for that game. I know people blame Bastoni for that red card, but he buried that game.
But
uska Ajay, it's not that. My point is not that everyone has bad games. Everyone misses boss. No one is perfect. I always बिकॉज हम लोग भी यार कंप्यूटर में देख रहे हैं, टीवी में देख रहे हैं, हम लोग इधर बैठ के कौन है बोलने वाला तूने मिस क्यों किया. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. माय पॉइंट इज दैट एटीट्यूड आफ्टर मिसिंग दैट. सेम विद राफा लियाओ, सेम विद मोइस कीन. बाय द वे बॉडी लैंग्वेज ड्रॉप हो जाती है ना, पिसिंग ऑफ.
ही इज वेरी गुड फ्रेंड्स विद लेआओ, एंड उसने आज वो लेआओ ने जो इंस्टा पे पोस्ट किया था कुछ, तो फिर से वही क्रिप्टिक, उस पे Kean was the first one to comment, by the way. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. But
exactly, my point is Ajay वही है. How can, like in that game, Bosnia की game में when he missed that post को जो लगा था, उसके बाद काउंटर हो रहा था, he's walking and he's still doing this. भाग भाई, तू कर क्या रहा है? That attitude ना, I hate it, and I hope he goes.
Yeah, and Betis apparently are interested, but yeah, I think he could be rather. वाह, राहुल गांधी कहाँ से आ गया भाई इसमें? मतलब कीन से अपन राहुल गांधी
कैल्चियो चर्चा के स्ट्रीम में है हमारा.
We'll wrap this stream in the next 5 to 10 minutes at max. Just one last thing. We have a donation from Vesper North. Thank you for donating. I still don't understand what Jules is. I need to do research on this, but thanks for the donation. Chai toast. I mean, अगर आप ये actual पैसा है, जो भी है, कुछ भी है, donate कर रहे तो please. I would rather you have a question so that we can make it worth your time as well. I'll just go through a few comments, guys. We'll just discuss Como lastly and wrap this up. I mean, both of you all want to answer this because I don't want to say it before our mega
close है. Before the knockouts, January में close होगा, the Inter can nicely concentrate on the Champions League. 15-16 पॉइंट के क्लोज तो 15-16 पॉइंट जैसी लीड रहेगी, they can concentrate.
इनफैक्ट चिंतन और मैं यही बात कर रहे थे कि जिस साल सेरिया ब्रॉडकास्ट होगा इंडिया में, उस साल टाइटल रेस विल बी नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग, इंटर तो विल रैप इट अप।
ये अलग लेवल का जिंक्सिंग देख लो आप लोग।
Guys, my question to the entire chat is, who will win the league first, Inter or Bayern Munich? कौन पहले लीग क्लोज करेगी? बुंडेसलीगा क्लोज होगी पहले यार? आई फील अजय दिस टाइम उन्होंने इतना बाय क्यों करे, क्या पता है, क्यू का बराबर है कि बहुत कंफ्यूजन होता है लीग और चैंपियंस लीग में। तो लीग खत्म करो जैन में, बाद में नॉकआउट्स पे शांति से ध्यान देंगे। एंड दे हैव, अभी इमेजिन करना, मिकिटारियन, सूसिच तो अच्छा है, मिकिटारियन प्लेयर्स आर डिसेंट टू रैप अप जेनोवाज वेनोवाज, यू नो, इन द, मतलब वो बी टीम को खिला के रैप अप कर लेंगे, बाद में बड़े प्लेयर्स को खिलाएंगे चैंपियंस लीग में अगेंस्ट द आर्सेनल्स एंड द रियल मैड्रिड्स एंड द बार्सिलोना।
ये दो बैक टू बैक, लाइक ये नींद से उड़ाने वाले जोक्स, if he doesn't perform after this, it will become gross for grosso. Heard Moise Kean is keen to join Como. Oh my god, as a chef how do you prefer आटा to be used ideally? क्या है ये, मतलब ये क्या घटिया जोक्स है। बट कोमुत्सो देख बेचा क्योंकि ना, कोमुत्सो एक चीज में बोलना चाहता, बहुत ओवररेटेड प्लेयर था, बहुत ही ज्यादा। आई एम ग्लैड फ्योरेंटीना एक्चुअली, हां सॉरी,
लोन पे क्या है यार, लोन पे बेस्ट प्लेयर अंडर अबाटे।
Yeah, I think it makes sense. He was heavily overrated, Comuzo. वो क्या होता है ना, इटालियंस की गंदी टेंडेंसी होती है, कोई फैंसी नेम वाला इटालियन दिख गया, यंग हो गया ना, ओवररेट करना बहुत आसान चीज होती है। I'm sorry, this is a very bad tendency. Comuzo was always very overrated. I'm rooting for Fagioli. Don't know, man. So I guess you're on board with Chintan Bhai. It says Nicolo that he's a big Fagioli fan. Just a couple more comments and I will close with Como. Yeah, he asked, we spoke about the Fratesi deal. Vespernoth, I request you to please throw that track back. I think it's a fantastic deal overall. He's going back to his boyhood club. Wait until this interference is going to be tough and I will have to be cautious against Monza 1-0 away. Tough तो है Monza, मतलब away में इतना दूर है लॉम्बार्डी में, 5 hours to reach. But 5th Fiorentina finish. We'll come to predictions. So next week we'll do our mega preview. But Chintan Bhai and Ajay, let's close with Como. Then I'll take the last couple comments and we'll wrap up the stream. कोमो, मेरा चिंतन आपने जो बोला ना, इटालियंस, एक तो वो लोग ने डिसाइड कर लिया मोर इटालियंस नहीं लेंगे, essentially basically essentially it's liberally a couple of youth players and it's wraps. their goal is कि हम लोग चैंपियंस लीग में सिर्फ कुछ 16-17 प्लेयर खिलाएंगे और लीग में बाकी खिलाएंगे, एंड वी एक्सेप्ट, लाइक सुवर से सेड, हम लोग को पनिश करना है, कर लो तुम लोग, फाइनेंशियली एफएफपी लगाना है लगा दो। क्या आई ऑन बोर्ड विद दिस मेंटालिटी ऑफ हाउ दे आर जस्ट टेकिंग दिस? Are you on board with this? Like, or what's your take?
This is like मैं खून करूंगा, मुझे जेल में डाल दो, मतलब ऐसा हो गया, मतलब this doesn't work that way. You can't. I don't like this attitude. This is greater than thou attitude, which I don't agree. You are playing in a league. This shows थोड़ा disrespect to the league, the Italian league in general. Respect the league. You as a club, eventually club का aim क्या है? Club does well, the country does, the league does well, league does well, internationally the country does well. That is how the hierarchy works, domino effect ऐसा work. And if you are a good upcoming team in the league, you should be ideally trying to groom more players. So instead of saying that we'll take more 13-14-year-old youth players in the setup, वो बोल थोड़ा ऐसा बोलता ना बड़ा चढ़ा के ना हम लोग ज्यादा youth player को लेंगे, उनको मोल्ड करेंगे, वो सीधा ऐसा बोल दिया कि नहीं आएगा तो जाओ फाइन करो, हम लोग को जो करना है. नो वंडर दे आर चेजिंग Moise Kean with that much money. They were going after liberally like us. I don't like this attitude because eventually you are here in the league, respect the league. So I don't like this attitude.
Fair. Ajay bhai, very quickly, I'll just pull up Como's mercato. Is this Suyog from Rivalry Room, by the way? I guess it is
Suyog bhai, boss.
Nice to, because PFP में उसका ये है ना. Yeah, nice to have you, Suyog. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Suyog is one, I would like to say Suyog is that one guy. He's a Barca fan, of course, but he really appreciates the league Serie A. He watches Serie A also, and he's a fan. So I hope we get you on the podcast soon, Suyog.
Yeah, I told him in person also. The way he has grown in terms of content creation is very impressive.
Amazing,
you know, it is a lot of hard work. So definitely
clutch for a reason. क्या बोलता है Ajay? Clutch for a reason.
Ball knowledge, bro.
Last thing, Ajay, for you, and I'll just show you the mercato for Como that has been so far.
भाई प्लीज पहले मेरे को ये बात करनी है. इधर शिवम भी कमेंट में रहेगा, सुयोग लकीली है. ये कोएन का क्या हो रहा है भाई, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. are they selling him? Is he that bad?
They got him. Yeah, they got him in July. They got him in July. This July, Andres Cuenca, and now the rumor is that they'll offload him and get back Diego Carlos, which obviously in the immediate run is a big
is he
upgrade.
that, like, as in like Shivam ने भी जो comment किया था कि they realize understood, is he, I don't know, is he that bad that oh my god, like I've never seen this. You don't see this very often that you buy a player and क्या any idea? Param, like, is he that bad?
From what I know, I've mainly read about him and all. I agree. I do, like, obviously Shivam would have watched him more than me. Obviously, he's not that good, but they're saying the reports are saying that कुछ तो falling out हुआ है dressing room with Cesc Fabregas के साथ. Apparently, again, I cannot confirm this. कुछ अभी तक concrete reports नहीं है, but apparently कुछ dressing room issue हुआ है. इसीलिए they're looking to basically kick him out right away, or loan him out rather, so that he can just not, take up a space and all that.
Is he Barca youth?
Yes, he is Barca youth.
So if any Barca fans are there, guys, please let us know in the comment section. How is he good? Is he a good rated talent? Please let us know. यार मतलब तू यार, I know चलो सब लोग गाली देंगे उसको. I do decent, मतलब I know English price होता है यार, but he is a very versatile player. I know that much. He was also.
I wanted to come to Ajay with that only, because Chaluba Ajay ये mercato है. आप लोग चिंतन में, you can also win. Nico Paz was the biggest coup. Like there's no, the way they managed to get Nico Paz to ditch Real Madrid, not care about Inter, and just come back to Como is impressive. Chaluba 30 million Ajay bhai, he was heavily linked with Inter and was supposed to be our centre back, but I'm glad it has not happened. Morata has been obligation trigger हो गया 12 million का, which is crazy. Liberali Chintan by 6 million. Luis Milla, very decent signing from Getafe, 6 million. Jan Couto and Kaiki, fantastic options. Fantastic. Ajay bhai, forget, keep that UCL arrogance wala point which me and Chintan might discuss ki haan, ye jo, bigger than thou attitude hai. But this looks like a solid market so far. Kya lag raha hai aapko?
It does, and which is why there is that confidence. जब वो जो owner का वो what is that guy's name? I forgot the Indonesian guy's name. The representative, when he comes out to the media and says that if UEFA want to fine us, they can go ahead and fine us. I mean, yeah. So, exactly. So the thing is that is the confidence that they have in this project, and like honestly, like signing Chaloba is a coup, because otherwise, like I think for many weeks it looked like it was practically done for him to enter, and like अभी player भी वही सोचेगा कि भाई कोमो एक ऐसा शहर है जहाँ पे you would love to live. Lifestyle wise, it's fantastic. The club is in the Champions League. It's got a project, and the floodgates will open. Chintan Param, even if Como don't finish in the Champions League, even if they have European football next season, I think this is it's a scary thing. Like, they are the disruptor in Serie A. They're coming for that, to break the national order, so called, to say. So, hi, matlab, very, very impressive, and they might sign a few Italians because I know it's stupidity, right? Otherwise, you end up with 17 players in your UCL squad, and in such a long competition, you want maximum players available. So they will eventually buckle down and sign a few Italians to ensure that कि उनका वो जो player quota है वो तो सही सलामत रहे. But yeah, I mean, it's just brilliant, and Fabregas को रखना एक और साल के लिए. Fabregas again in the summer was linked. He eventually will leave, but abhi to he's there, in terms of taking this project forward, keeping Nico Paz, Baturina already है उनके पास में, Asan Diao, if it remains one of the most lethal wide players in the league. So they have talent in every department, and good time for Sharky to be a Como fan, because definitely I would say that this is the club to watch for the future.
I just, before we close this, I just want to highlight one thing. Italy में stadiums बहुत धीरे काम होते हैं चिंतन भाई usually, but again I still need to verify whether Como stadium is ready for the Champions League eligibility wise. But एक criteria जो था, जब आप जैसे इधर लिखा है ट्वीट में कि जब आप एफर्ट डालते हो इटली में, जस्ट लाइक एनी अदर नेशन ना, चीजें हो सकती है, आपको एक्चुअली एफर्ट डालना पड़ता है. जो कोमो का जो पूर्वा सूर था, राइट, that how it was flatter and it didn't even have so many seats. It was actually standing, if I'm not wrong. हो गया. Look at this is their new Kurwa. It has more seats, it has the branding Como wala, and it has been fixed and been made better than ever. So seems like a good trajectory for them. No, I mean, I guess we hope to see them play at their own stadium at least in the Champions
Yeah,
League.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted Chintanmai's thoughts on this. Like, if he thinks like Como is at least overall on the right trajectory.
Chintan hai nahi iski.
Nacha,
Drop
he's
out.
dropped out. He's dropped out. Okay. I didn't notice. So yeah, I think he lost connection. But I think I'll just take a couple of comments and we'll wrap this up. Badia Chile to Napoli. Yeah, that also is invoking. But it's insane how Allegri. My God, whatever. I've given up on Allegri. Yeah,
भाई
look, this is
नापोली का एक ही बोलना था योगेश is the happiest man alive touchwood. He's become a dad. He's watched his team win
yes,
2 Scudetti. और क्या चाहिए लाइफ में यार? At 30 mid 30s, he's achieved all his goals.
fair. Yeah, I think guys, I cannot see any more comments. Predictions, guys. Next week mega preview होगा तब कर लेंगे. So do again, as I keep saying, we are wrapping up the stream. Please do like the stream. Please do share it. After it's done, please do subscribe to Calcio Charcha. You can follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, of course, everywhere we are there. Follow अजय भाई on Instagram, follow चिंतन भाई on Instagram. मैंने भी खुद का नया पब्लिक प्रोफाइल बनाया, तो जाके फॉलो कर ही सकते हो. इट्स
Oh
परम
yes.
कैंसल चर्चा. So my private profile is separate. You can follow me there. And yeah, guys, again, Calcio content तो आता रहेगा. Any closing thoughts you want to give, Ajay, before I close it?
Yeah, I think 1 week to go. Of course, Serie A does start on the 22nd. La Liga starts this weekend. Tomorrow we are having a La Liga stream. अगर आप
Yes.
लोग वो आज अभी tuned in, so come for that. 15th August, we are going to have an Indian football special stream. We are having, if I can reveal it, Param, we are hosting Harry Bhai, Curious Harry.
Curious
Hiren
Harry.
Bhai, he's coming on. Param and I will be there wearing our Baichung Bhutia and Sunil Shetty jerseys. And yeah, I mean, subscribe karo, keep supporting. Long season ahead, but content आता रहेगा. And बस आप support करते रहो, like करते रहो, share करते रहो, and we'll do our bit in giving you top quality content.
Chintan, any closing thoughts? We were anyways wrapping it up. Anything you want to say?
Nothing, man. Looks like another exciting season lined up. The likes of Fiorentina, Como are doing well. Like, of course, new managers, of course, like Grosso. I'm very excited to see him, what he does. And Serie A never ceases to surprise you guys. Last year, Milan top 4 fixed tha, Roma ke छीन गया. Everything is up in the air except one thing, which is Inter going to win the title. Other than that, 2 to 20 तक.
ये अलग लेवल का jinxing है भाई. But nahi guys, as we said, please do like, share and subscribe. Next week mega preview होगा, उसमें सब discuss होगा. We'll cover all of it. And guys, just a reminder, in case you have missed the big news, thankfully Serie A has a home to be watched on, has broadcast. Z Sports का OTT है और United जो उनका चैनल है वो टीवी पे है. सब्सक्राइब कर लो, आपको जो भी सही लगे. सेम बुंडेसलीगा भी उस पे ही आने वाला है. So you have 2 leagues there. So kudos to Z for pulling this off. And please guys, watch again, follow us, subscribe, recommend us, and please watch the Serie A. A lot of exciting things to come. Boring nahi hai league. It has its stories. It is fun to watch, and we'll see you guys the next time. Ciao ciao.
Which is tomorrow. कल आ जाना.
Tomorrow, to be fair, La Liga preview है. जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, all of us will be there, and we are collaborating with a guy called La Liga Vic. He's on Instagram. You go check him out, and tomorrow we'll be covering La Liga, and with Shivam obviously he's going to be there. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao ciao.